The funeral of Catherine, Duchess of Kent, will mark one of the most historic departures from royal tradition in modern Britain. Following her death at the age of 92 on September 4th, Buckingham Palace announced that her farewell will be a Catholic service at Westminster Cathedral in London on September 16th. The decision makes her the first senior member of the royal family in centuries to be honored with a Catholic funeral. It also signals how far the monarchy has come in accommodating personal conviction alongside centuries of Anglican custom. Buckingham Palace confirmed that the Duchess's coffin will first rest in the private chapel at Kensington Palace before being taken to Westminster Cathedral on September 15th. That evening, Catholic rites will begin with the formal reception of the coffin and the prayers of Vespers. The following day, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a Requiem Mass will be celebrated by Cardinal Vincent Nichols, the Archbishop of Westminster. After the service, her coffin will be taken by hearse to the Royal Burial Ground at Frogmore in Windsor, where she will be laid to rest. The service will be attended by King Charles III and Queen Camilla, together with the Duke of Kent and the Duchess's children, George, Earl of St. Andrews, Lady Helen Taylor, and Lord Nicholas Windsor. Other members of the royal family, close friends, and representatives of her charitable organizations and military affiliations are also expected. Buckingham Palace confirmed that the Union flag will be lowered to half-mast at royal residences, flying the national flag on the day of the funeral. Unlike the state occasions for monarchs or senior working royals, the ceremony will be private and will not be broadcast, in line with the Duchess's wish for modesty. What makes this funeral historic is its clear break from the traditions that have shaped royal farewells for centuries. Since the 16th century, royal funerals have almost always followed the rites of the Church of England, with services at Westminster Abbey or St. George's Chapel, Windsor. Queen Elizabeth II's funeral in 2022 was held at the Abbey. Prince Philip's was at Windsor in 2021. By contrast, the Duchess of Kent will be honored with a Catholic service in a cathedral that has never before hosted a royal funeral since its completion in 1903. The significance lies in the Duchess's decision 3 decades ago to convert to Catholicism. In 1994, she became the first senior member of the royal family to join the Catholic Church since the 17th century. The move was unprecedented because the monarchy and the Catholic faith had long been in tension. The Act of Settlement of 1701 barred Catholics from inheriting the throne, and for centuries it was unthinkable for a royal to convert without consequence. But Catherine followed her conscience, and the Queen at the time gave her approval. She was allowed to retain her title and role within the family, even though her conversion attracted attention and raised questions about the monarchy's ties to the Anglican Church. For King Charles, who will attend the service, the moment is heavy with symbolism. As sovereign, he is the supreme governor of the Church of England. His presence at a Catholic Requiem Mass for a close family member demonstrates the extent to which the monarchy has adapted to a more pluralistic Britain. It acknowledges that personal faith can be respected even when it falls outside the Anglican tradition that historically defined the institution. For many observers, the King's attendance will underline a message of tolerance and inclusivity. The Duchess of Kent's life helps explain why this moment is so significant. Born Catherine Worsley in Yorkshire in 1933, she married Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, in 1961. The couple had 3 children, and together they carried out many duties on behalf of the crown. For decades, she appeared at state occasions and supported the Duke in his ceremonial roles. But over time, she became known for charting a more independent path. She stepped back from official duties in 1996 and devoted herself to teaching music, often in primary schools in less privileged areas. She co-founded the charity Future Talent in 2004 to support young musicians from disadvantaged backgrounds, a project that remains one of her lasting legacies. Her conversion to Catholicism in the mid-90s reflected a deep personal search. She later explained that she valued the structure and certainty of Catholic teaching at a time of difficulty in her life. She spoke about finding reassurance in rules that gave her clarity, saying she liked being guided toward regular worship. For her, faith was less about tradition and more about conviction. The decision was not made for effect, but out of genuine belief. It was, at the time, a bold move in an institution so deeply entwined with the Anglican Church. In 2002, Catherine made another unusual choice. She stopped using the style Her Royal Highness and preferred to be known more simply, even adopting Catherine Kent in some contexts. She continued to attend family occasions but lived largely out of the spotlight, pursuing teaching and charity work. This conscious retreat from pomp and duty emphasized her personal humility and strengthened her image as a royal who valued service above ceremony. Her funeral arrangements reflect these same priorities. The service will not be televised. The guest list is relatively small, limited to family, close friends, and charitable representatives, yet the symbolism of the event is enormous. Westminster Cathedral, the seat of Roman Catholicism in England and Wales, has never before been the setting for a royal farewell. To see senior royals gather there with the king in attendance is to witness a quiet transformation of tradition. The Duchess's passing has prompted tributes from across the country. Many have remembered her compassion, most famously during the 1993 Wimbledon women's singles final when she comforted Czech player Jana Novotná after a heartbreaking defeat. That moment captured the Duchess's natural warmth and became one of the most enduring images of her public life. Others have highlighted her work in music education and her commitment to nurturing young talent. Public mourning has been dignified, but not on the scale of monarchs' funerals. The royal family opened an online book of condolence to allow the public to share their messages. Flags have been lowered, and senior royals have observed mourning dress at official events. For most Britons, the Duchess was not a prominent public figure in recent decades, but her death has encouraged reflection on her unique journey within the family and the quiet but profound ways she influenced perceptions of what it means to be royal. The Catholic community in Britain sees this funeral as particularly meaningful. For centuries, Catholics faced restrictions and suspicion in public life. To witness a royal funeral conducted as a Catholic Mass with the monarch present is a symbolic moment of reconciliation. It affirms that Catholic faith, once a source of exclusion, is now recognized as a legitimate and honored tradition within national life. For the monarchy, the event represents an adaptation to modern realities. Britain today is religiously diverse and increasingly secular. By respecting the Duchess's wishes, the royal family demonstrates flexibility and inclusivity, balancing centuries of Anglican tradition with the personal convictions of its members. It does not change the king's constitutional role as head of the Church of England, but it signals a willingness to honor different expressions of faith within the royal household. Catherine's legacy will not rest solely on this funeral. She will be remembered for her devotion to music, her decision to live more simply, and her courage in following her beliefs. Historians may see her funeral as a landmark in the monarchy's evolving relationship with religion. The image of a Catholic service in Westminster Cathedral, attended by the King and Queen, is one that will resonate for years to come. As her coffin is carried into the cathedral and later taken to Frogmore for burial, the moment will symbolize the closing of a life that bridged tradition and change. Catherine was a royal who embraced humility and service, who stepped back from duty to live according to conscience, and who in death has quietly reshaped the boundaries of royal custom. Her funeral will be a farewell both deeply personal and profoundly historic. A moment when the monarchy and the nation honor a duchess who chose to walk a different path, and in doing so left a mark that will endure.